books. Okay, that's the talk therapy now. Okay, we'll get to that. Okay, it's important that we know our children, and knowing our children means that we have an understanding that even twins, okay, even if you have twins, your twin children, okay, they're not the same, no matter how identical they look, okay, they are not the same. For you to have that understanding, their fingerprints are not the same, no matter how identical your twin children could be, they are not the same. And for you to now have that understanding should also mean that you would not want to apply the same, if you like, strategies when it comes to reasons or issues of or for disciplining your children. There are different reasons why individuals don't need, especially children, we should not, as parents, judge them as behaving in particular ways instead of behaving how their siblings are behaving. Okay, there's some general rules, but there has to be some individual rules that when your child is behaving in a particular way, especially in ways that frustrate you, you want to interrogate, you want to find out more, especially even when you have instituted or negotiated the boundaries we talk so much about on this program. And there are still some behavioral issues, especially if you have more than one child and the other ones seem to be behaving properly according to you, by your observation or by your agreement. You need to find out why the child that is not behaving the way that would frustrate you less, or that would not get to frustrate you, will be behaving in those ways, or in that way that gets you frustrated. The number one here is we need to know your child means that you know their temperament. Temperament to a whole lot of why we behave the way we behave as human beings. And then children especially, you need to find out what is this child comfortable with, what is this child not comfortable with, from food to leisure to studying habits to feeding, food, yes, to relationship with people, yourself inclusive. Okay, you probably will notice that a particular child prefers to relate more with some particular individuals in the family, or even when extended or family members come around, or friends, colleagues come around, they don't want to be around anybody. You make your observations, then you still apply the magic wand. The magic wand that gets us started in getting to the bottom of any human relationship issue is what? It's communication. Okay? You need to talk with that child to find out, ask questions, what you've noticed. Why, I noticed that you went to your room when Auntie Jones came around, but Uncle Philip arrived earlier. Well, we were all over him playing, but immediately Auntie Jones came in, I noticed you went to your room. What's the problem? You might not get an answer immediately. You might get an answer immediately. It might also not have anything to do with Uncle Jones or Auntie whoever. But the important thing is that you observe, you don't take it for granted, especially when that pattern is repeated. Okay, you want to interrogate to find out. You notice what's going on, and you might call your child. There's no answer. You call, there's no answer. You call severally, there's no answer. It's possible the child heard you. It's also possible the child did not hear you for one reason or the other. Losing your cool because that response did not come would not make matters any easier. You probably will also have noticed that a particular child might not respond and then it just shows up. If it frustrates you, discuss it. I would appreciate it when I call. At least you heard me. That's why you came. Okay. It's nice to respond so that I know you heard me, to be sure you heard me. It's also possible that the child hears or heard, but continued what is engrossed, is lost in what he or she is doing. The regular culprit for these days is what the device is. Okay, it's engrossing whatever he's doing on that device. It's not here. Like, let me finish the fire, someone. Let me finish it. He's like, hey, yes, mom. And then maybe in that anger, you navigate your way to where the child is, and you are like, "Is this what you are doing when I'm calling you?" You laugh. Find, you know, give yourself peace to find the funny side of some things, but also take the decisions you need to take concerning them. No, what's our agreement when you hear your name called? Remember, it should be in the family constitution. Yes, the boundary. You don't answer when you are called, something will happen. Okay? But importantly, again, there's also another aspect that, we should consider. Okay? Knowing your child, a particular child, the one that's there now for whom you feel very frustrated, feel very upset, might not be doing what frustrates you deliberately. It might just be that you are expecting that child to respond to or to do what that child's brain is not wired to do yet. Okay? Like sharing. Children, yeah, kids, babies can on their own voluntarily give you things, but that's like just sometimes involuntary. They just, hey, it doesn't mean that they're giving it to you. Sometimes when you try to take that in, the child holds it strong, firmly, that just a reflex action. But children process okay, I want to give you something. And it's intentional within certain age brackets. Don't worry, I won't bore you with data and statistics. We'll put all of those in our in-house video, okay, which we're going to play for you at the appropriate time in the course of this program, which you also have the privilege to download and share and watch whatever over and over, as many times as you find need for that, okay? So knowing the age bracket, age range, age bracket that your child should be mature enough to process certain, behaviors, certain responses, certain actions that we expect that child to. Again, there's also not general one-size-fits-all. Individuals are still different, even within those age ranges. So it still comes down to your knowing that particular child and help that child to respond in the ways, guide, okay, mentor that child to be able to respond in the ways that you now know is appropriate. When you have checked, oh, by this age you should be doing this. Why are you finding it difficult? Can you tell me, I wanted you to do this, you were not able to, it's heavy? Or can you share why why you didn't give that thing to mommy and mommy said, could you bring me that? or daddy, as the case may be. The child might tell you. The reason for not giving you that in that particular time might actually be because there's something that you have done. It would not be because he didn't want, but it's responding or reacting to something. You hear it. Well, I said I wanted so the other time you did not. Oh wow, sorry. Well, you discuss it. Don't wave it away. Okay, clear that particular um, issue that would have been the reason for which. But well, um, it's better for you to say, "Mommy, do you know that time I asked for you and you didn't, you made me feel like maybe you don't like me, or, you know, you gave to John, you didn't give me, maybe, yeah. You did want to lead your children, your child, to be able to express themselves, to be assertive, you know, to be able to negotiate, develop negotiation skills, develop assertive skills. I didn't say domineering skills. I said assertive. Assertiveness is some leagues away from domineering behaviors. Okay. Assertiveness, okay, you can speak freely. We talk so much about freedom of expression. So a child that cannot, that you have not helped to say, to speak out at home, if he gets to start speaking out outside of the home, some other things might have triggered that, and those triggers become what will be replicated at home. I'd be wondering, where did you get this from? Well, one way or the other, people would have to express certain human, you know, inherent human uh, talents, behavior, attitude. Okay. So basically we have 5 points, okay, that we have raised in in-house video to help you with knowing your child, especially around issues of discipline. So you do not blame yourself later when you find out that, oh, I was too harsh, or was this the reason? Calm down. Okay. There are times you need to just give yourself some, take a pause, fall back, ask yourself some questions. Why, what should I learn? What was this child trying to tell me? You ask yourself, and by the time you take that step or those steps back, and then you have calmed yourself down, even when you still get back to the child, there'll still be a need to, get into that discussion. John, I noticed that you didn't respond when, was there a special reason why you did not? Oh, but mom, I didn't hear. Why? But I called you 3 times. Mom, sorry. Well, you now know that there's something that's feeling guilty about something. The device, okay? The child will not be doing the right thing at the time, correct? Point it out. Pull up the family constitution, the boundary, discuss it. Some might say, even for a 1-year-old, even for a 2-year-old, you set boundaries that are age appropriate. You expect your children to grow. You expect your child to grow, right? You're going to help that growth in every area, every issue area of life. Communication, response, same thing. If you don't initiate it, the child might actually still get to learn that thing, but might be in a delayed form, which might frustrate you for that. But then you have not initiated or created the enabling environment to get that child to function in ways that would not frustrate you up to the point of wanting to, apply corporal punishment, because this is what this is all about. So always try as much as possible to avoid applying corporal punishment. You know, by that meaning I'm disciplining him or her because he did the wrong thing. Apply soft skills that could get the child to learn how not to behave in ways that are not appropriate. Not appropriate as per the boundaries you set, not appropriate as per how to relate with others, not appropriate as per how you want that child to do certain things. Show what needs to be done, how they need to be done. Return the demonstration. Watch, observe, and correct. Repeat. Don't feel frustrated. You know, I had the course to say to one of my children, even when they become an adult, and I'm like, have I stopped talking with you? So why are you feeling frustrated with your sibling? If we've not stopped, you know, pointing things out to you nicely, it's not because you have grown or whatever, but it's what we have been used to, what we've been applying. Because you get to a point, you know, that even if no one instructs you or teaches you or counsels or mentors you, that certain strategies wouldn't work with children by the time they are certain ages. You have to change your strategy. We dealt with that last episode, right? Yes. So I'm going to play for you at this point our in-house videos so that we can come back and look at some of the issues raised. And then already we have so many questions from community members here. But we'll play that video so that we'll have enough time to take, to attend to the questions and comments and perspectives that community members have. Thank you guys on TikTok for...
Dear parents, one of the most draining experiences in parenting is applying a strategy that worked perfectly with one child or young person and watching it completely fail with another child or young person sitting in the same house, eating at the same table, raised by the same two people, the parents. The problem is almost never the child or young person. The problem is that the strategy was never designed with that specific child or young person in mind. This is episode 4 in our Parenting and Discipline series on the #SlowParenting podcast, drawn from Dr. Richie Adewusi's upcoming book, Effective Parenting Strategies: The Power of Positive Discipline. Please, subscribe now because every episode in this series is built to help you parent the child or young person you actually have, not a theoretical one you wish you have. Effective parenting begins with deep, intentional observation. Here are 5 ways to start truly knowing your child or young person. 1. Learn your child or young person's temperament. Temperament determines how your child or young person experiences the world, and disciplining against it would most likely backfire. This week, write 3 sentences describing how your child or young person responds to new situations, to frustration, and to being told no. Those 3 responses will tell you whether you are raising a slow to warm, high intensity, or easygoing child or young person, and that knowledge should change your disciplinary decisions going forward. 2. Understand what the developmental stage actually allows. A child or young person having a meltdown may not be defying you. Their brain may simply not yet be wired for what you are asking. For example, a 2-year-old who cannot share is not being selfish. Sharing is a skill the brain develops closer to age 3 or 4. A 7-year-old who forgets instructions is not being careless. The memory capacity required for multi-step instructions is still developing at that age. Search the developmental milestones for your child or young person's exact age. Then look at the behaviors currently frustrating you and ask honestly whether those behaviors fall inside or outside of what that stage is capable of. That single check saves you enormous emotional energy. 3. Apply the 3-layer read before you react strategy. Before responding to any difficult behavior, pause 30 seconds and ask 3 questions. Who is this child or young person wired to be? What is their brain currently capable of? What happened in the last hour that may have contributed to this moment? That 30-second pause would consistently produce better responses than any immediate reaction ever would. 4. Please stop comparing your child or young person to other children or young persons. Comparison language communicates to a child or young person that who they are is the problem, and children or young people who believe they are the problem hide their behavior rather than adapt to changes. Plan today to replace comparison sentences with direct questions to the child or young person with whom you are communicating. What do you think would help you handle this better? Redirects from shame into self-awareness better. 5. Observe before you intervene. Choose one recurring behavior that is frustrating you and spend some time observing it without immediately correcting it. Note the time it happens, what preceded it, and your child or young person's emotional state. By day 7, a pattern will emerge, and that pattern gives you a response that would address the root rather than the symptoms. These 5 practices shift parenting positions from guesswork to genuine understanding, and that shift could change not just your child or young person's behavior but the entire atmosphere of your home. This week's live stream goes much deeper into this chapter and this conversation. We want you there and we want your questions. The link is below. Thank you for watching. If this video is helpful, please like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Kindly share with other parents who are navigating this, and stay connected with the #SlowParenting podcast community. Please subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new episode in this series.
Welcome back. Well, like we said at the top, I hope you enjoyed the video, by the way. Like we said at the top, try to get to have the understanding that no two children are alike, even identical twins, okay, or multiple birth set children. They're not that they were given birth, they stayed in the womb, they stayed, you get back to them the same day, and they are not the same persons. Okay? And one of the big reasons for which you need to do that is try not to compare your children with their siblings, not to talk of outsiders. Okay? It's in your hands to build positive self-esteem in your children or damage the self-esteem of your children. Okay? While correcting, even amongst their siblings, even at home, okay, there are certain types of corrections that you should do when it's just 2 of you. Okay? Don't shame your children, even in the presence of even their siblings, not to talk of outsiders. Please don't do that. Okay, right now, one of our partners, one of our mommies in the house today, is her birthday. That's actually the reason why she's not here with us. Today is Reverend Pastor Mrs. Tony Wiggins, Phyllis Wiggins. Today is her birthday. It's a special day across the world. In some countries, today is Children's Day, especially in Nigeria. I know that today is Children's Day in Nigeria. Today is her birthday. So we produce a little birthday present for her by way of a thank you video for all that she has supported us to do on this program, and for all she does even outside of this program, amongst the different orphanages, within the different orphanages that she manages, relationship with different children in those orphanages, in those communities, where she provides some one psychosocial support or the other. So Tony Phyllis Wiggins, happy birthday to you. Let's play her birthday video, please. Thank you. Thank you, Tony, for all you do for children, for families. We pray that you would climb many more floors, even from this particular floor. Okay, you will live to benefit from all the good work that you are doing for the benefit of humanity and to honor God. Thank you so much, Tony. Happy birthday again. Okay. Hopefully, Tony will join us here. She would have been done with her celebration because it's been long. She's been having so many activities that ended today, or that will be ending. We expect will be ending today. That's her birthday. There have been so many seminars, so many community programs that she's rolled out this period. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to go into community contributions by community members. The first one here says, can a child's temperament shift significantly after trauma, illness, or major life change? And if so, how often should a parent reassess? I'll start from the last part of that question. How often should you reassess? As often as needed. Okay. Yes, even adults, trauma impacts on how we behave. Most of us react in different ways, react different ways, different physiological or psychological challenges that we encounter. So children too, is even more challenging for children because some of them might not be able to put what they're going through in words. So that's not frustrating for you, it's frustrating for them. Okay. And for much younger children, it results in crying. But then with practice, with time, with professional support, you probably would get to the bottom of what the issues might be and provide the help that child would need. Okay, so yes, as many times as possible, you need to do that, then assess. So if you know your child, you will know the time that child would have become comfortable, would have become his or her normal self. If the child continues to react in certain ways that are not usual, that are not normal for that child, seek help, assess to know what's going on so that you can be able to provide the help that that child would need. Okay. Another member here says, for us parents with multiple children, can we just have general family time with our children, or we need to spend time with each of them? Both. Have time, depending again on who you are, meaning what time is available to you. Okay. Now, if you are a very busy person, you would love to be with your children all the time, but then work or travel or location issues make that impossible. When you are available, they're available to everybody. But then there are certain occasions that you could use to, attend to individual children or a particular child, their birthdays, their graduation days, well, landmark celebrations. So you could take that particular child out, even if you're having a party for her or him at home with other people, make a time to be with that child. That becomes a time for both of you to, visit certain issue, interrogate certain issue, or just generally have fun and just laugh and share stories. Okay. And then there'll be no jealousy with the other children. So as long as you do the same for the others on such occasions as well. Okay. Another community member here says, if a 9-year-old has the language skills of a 12-year-old, but the emotional regulation of a 6-year-old is a serious one, which developmental layer do you prioritize when disciplining? The development layer is to get that child to respond or behave the way that child is expected to behave according to you, according to your agreement with him or her. Sometimes, say, a whole lot of this scientific data and logs and applications and all of that don't work in that one-size-fits-all ways, okay? Because the scenario you've presented here is a bit challenging. A 12-year-old language skill of a is 9-year-old. Language skill is like 12-year-old. Emotional skill is like 6-year-old. That's a yo-yo, okay? It shouldn't be as old as you are, or you're not that age. If not so, you want to have some individual or human beings that are called geniuses, okay? It's still the issue of interrogate to know why is she or he behaving in those particular ways. I know a young person who is so used to cartoons. It's young. When I say young person, it's no longer a child. Who is so used to cartoon character that he mimics cartoon characters whilst speaking. Even in adulthood, he's an adult now. Sometimes he just involuntarily, he begins to, when he's responding, you're listening to particular cartoon characters that the person that love to hear and behave like and mimic over time. So you have to also watch out for those kind of trends, because you've seen this person grow with that habit over time. So sometimes it gets to be embarrassing, really, when it's in the midst of strangers that are not well. Okay. But because it's your child, you can only do what you need to do. Well, isn't it time you try to stop sounding like that then? Eh? And then discuss it. People will not take you serious. Or they're just having fun. But some other people will like him or her because of that. They say, wow, it's so fun to be around. No. But some other people will take that person as an unserious person. It's not everybody that likes cartoons. Yes, especially when it comes to serious business, getting things, certain work done, okay? And then you are clowning all over the place. It's not everybody. So you need to take all of those into perspective and then relate with that child, having in mind by your own calculations what level that child should be at that time. Discuss it, agree with it, help the child to, adjust accordingly. At what point do you tell a parent, stop using this framework? This is now this is now a medical, neurological, or psychiatric evaluation issue. And the point you need that is beyond you. You need help. You need professional help. You've applied all of this. You go follow the rules you agreed on, but for some reason, you can't seem to crack what this is all about. And you don't want to do the wrong thing by now applying force or corporal punishment on a child. And even after it is still, the child is still not responding the way you, so you need help. Okay, so you don't create a hatred problem. Okay, the child is struggling with something that is beyond him or her. You are struggling with a situation that you can handle, so look for professional help. Okay, how does a parent know behaviorally that their child feels genuinely understood rather than just temporarily pacified? Repeat responses. Repeat responses. You won't know that by one instance of that particular behavior or action happening. How does this child respond next time when a particular situation? Okay, can you pass the glass? Yes, Mom. He wants to bring the glass. He actually takes it. But in the process of getting it from him to it, the thing drops and breaks. And you could genuinely feel, wow, come down, whoop, just hold on, don't touch it. Let me pack it, sorry. If that repeats, when the cup dropped, how are you feeling? I don't like, my hand couldn't go around it and it doesn't have a handle. Oh, okay, because it didn't have a handle. So you understand that the child processes information about having to pick objects or take things in, okay, be careful, that, okay, don't worry, I'll come take it. I know you don't, objects that don't have handles, you might, yeah. The child will most likely have that understanding that you understand or her. Take another instance. I know of a family that, one of the children doesn't like fish. The other one doesn't like meat. And then when meals are cooked, just, okay, this is what we cook, this is what you're going to eat. But the child doesn't like, for whatever reason, don't like fish. Even would know intuitively, however, that a particular dish had been used to serve fish before it's used to serve it. For that child to know you understand and respect that, even while you are still trying to find out what the reasons for not liking fish is, you could dedicate a particular dish. Just, okay, this is Mahoney's Chide's dish each time he wants to eat. Okay, yeah, you understand, okay, you understand me, you appreciate me. Fine. Okay. What you want is peace. What you want is cooperation. What you want is bonding with your children. So whatever legitimately would get them to, arrive at that bonding stage or relationship with you, or bonded relationship or bonding process, continuous relationship with you, do, but without indulgence. Okay. Another community member here said, I have 2 kids. One is going, one intense. Wow, intense. Okay. The easygoing one just told me last week that I love his sibling more because I work harder with her. No, let me understand this. The easygoing one just told me last week that I love, okay, his sibling more because I work harder with her, okay, instead of him or her, this second one, okay. I've been thinking of what to do to prove that is not true. What do you think? Devote more time to working with this one, okay? For sure, since you said that's not true, show it's your attitude, it's in your responses. We'll finish this thing faster now with you than when I was. It will be what you've said. It will be your attitude, it will be your responses to what. So when you are working with this one, maybe also be generous with the same compliments that you probably would have used while working with the other child. Okay? It might be something you are doing unknowingly. So I should say again that the first thing to probably do is to say, ask, why do you feel so? Find out, interrogate. It will say, and then pay attention to those, you know, his or her feelings or her observations or reported issues for which he or she feels the way it's feeling, okay? My wife and I thought we knew my son, but the other day he did something I never thought he could. How do parents keep themselves from falling into the trap of false knowledge? How did you arrive at saying that you know your child? First thing, go back to the video that we just, played for you. Then in the book, the talk therapy, the chapter or the K chapter, which is the knowledge, it's very detailed about keen interest, how to develop keen interest in your children, meaning knowing your children, how to have that, first-hand knowledge about your children. Okay? First-hand knowledge about your children and not second-hand knowledge, not the reports that their siblings or their teachers or, you could actually even know your children differently, both of you. Mom, dad, there will be some aspect of their lifestyle behavior that they are more open to one of you than the other. So complement each other and share notes, compare notes. Okay? That way you get to know them better. If you get to know, or if you get shocked about something that your child does or your children do, that when I say shocked means that you felt disappointed, you didn't know you could do this. You have not been paying attention. You have not been paying attention. That could be number one. Number two, you probably have not been creating the environment within which that child or your children could express themselves freely without fear. So if they can express themselves, depends again on the age at which you now did this thing that you say shocked you. If your children can speak freely around you as they are growing, at a certain age, especially when they get into their teenage years, especially when they go beyond 18, it's like, I'm now an adult, so you'd be like, where is this coming from? They've been hiding it. They've been playing drama with you since. Okay? So creating an enabling environment, encouraging your children to be assertive, like I said earlier on, to be able to express themselves, but respectfully. It's important. It's important. It's those time periods that you're saying, why, I saw you did this. I'm curious. Why did you do it that way? Or why did you do it? You discuss it. It might look like a banter. But gradually, you are noticing, you are learning. It's not one day. Okay? Yeah. All right. So, that seems to be the last community member to send a comment or a question to us today's program. And we look forward to inviting you to participate very soon in our first global webinar for our engendering family bonding program. We should give more details as we, get closer to that time period. Last season, we dwelt a whole lot about that program as a flagship program from the Universal Parenting Institute, okay? And we've been having inquiries from parents about, how do we become part of this program outside of, the PTAs? What if we're not in PTAs? What if we don't want to go through PTA? So our response to that is the webinar that individuals could, register to attend the same program, but then it will just be that it's not through PTAs, through the cohorts and the PTAs and schools. It will not be universally accessible to anyone anywhere in the world that want to join a particular cohort. The seminar, the webinars is going to be in cohort of 25 participants at any given time, and they are going to be quarterly. So we'll announce at the appropriate time the procedures. Okay, thank you. I want to thank you so much for being part of our show for today. It's exciting to be here every episode to talk with you. I look forward to having some of our resource persons join us, most likely from the next episode. People have been busy, but we're here. We get to discuss the things that need to be discussed. Okay, please support us. Subscribe to the channel if you have subscribed. Thank you so very much. If you haven't, please do subscribe. Recommend this channel. Share this video with other parents, caregivers that you know will be helpful to. And please support the program. Scan this QR code for any of the books that are scrolling behind me, or in the description of the channel. You find those books, or parenting books there. And support us, place your orders, give us gifts to parents, especially new parents, so that they know about what to do to be intentional parents. So thank you very much. I look forward to being with you same time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, US and Canada, Wednesday, and then 7 p.m. West Africa time, including Nigeria, on the Slow Parenting live stream and podcast on Nostalgia Media and YouTube, and then the Parenting for All season live stream on TikTok. Thank you guys on TikTok. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.